babe, like honestly, I didn't even know that was gonna happen. Ah! You didn't know that was gonna happen. That is scary. Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone's doing okay and everyone is doing well. Another day, another Love Island review. Guys, what was that ending? Because as I'm sitting here, even when I was setting up the camera, I said, no, what was that ending? A lot of person I'm making unpack. So as I usually and always say, number one, if you haven't yet subscribed, be sure to subscribe and definitely join the family. Also be sure to follow me on also be sure to follow me. My mind is actually so confused, but anyway, I'll not be confused in Jesus' name. Anyway, also be sure to follow me on Instagram and also on Twitter at SarahDestinyX. And number three, get cozy and comfy with a lovely drink. I'm drinking a green juice today. I even have a green straw. I know that's right. So yeah, get cozy and comfy with a lovely drink. And let's get into today's review. Before we do get started as well, I just want to give a huge thank you to everyone who joined yesterday's live. If you know, you know, but yeah, every Sunday we do our reviews live, and live is always a vibe. Okay, you guys be having me on here just yapping away for hours, but I really appreciate it. You guys know lives are always a vibe. I love you guys' comments, your suggestions, your feedback is always so amazing. So yeah, huge shout out to everyone who was there. And if you weren't, make sure you're there on Sunday. Let's go. So let's start off with the follow-up of the balloon. So you guys know the balloon challenge that they were doing yesterday. So you guys know everything that happened there. We know that Omar ended up picking Mimii to pop his balloon, and he was asked to snog the islander who he thinks was, or who he thought was, a game player. Now Omar hasn't really been in the villa for too long. Guys, we actually just need to get through this review so we can get through to the end, because what was that ending? Anyway. So, Omar really hasn't really been in the villa for long. I think he's only been there for a day now. So, you know, he didn't even know he was going to pick, but he ended up choosing Nicole. Prior to choosing Nicole, Samantha pointed to Harriet, and Harriet was like, oh, you really pointed to me? And Harriet was like, it's just a joke. It's just a this. So, it just also reminds me once again what I said yesterday, that these girlies, they ain't friends. Okay? These girls are not friends. Harriet hates Samantha. Samantha hates Harriet. A lot going on. But yeah, he ended up choosing Nicole. Next, Umar ended up choosing Sean for to help pop her balloon. Guys, I won't lie, I know Sean was definitely given villa furniture, but Sean is actually really sweet. Like when they show his scenes and when they show him, we're going to get into it later as well, just speaking to some of the other girls and people in the villa, like he's actually such a sweetheart, but he's just not getting any screen time. He's getting more screen time than Mimii, so that says a lot anyway. But of course, she was asked to snog the two islanders that she thinks she is are most attracted to her. She ended up snogging Ayo first, and even mid-kiss, she said, oh, that's enough. And I don't know why I'm so dry, but I did already tell you guys that at any given opportunity, I genuinely think Omar is going to leave this guy. And moving on, I'm going to get into it later anyway, but I do feel like because of the way Ayo is also treating Mimii, she is low-key, high-key also getting the ick as well, but we're going to get into that shortly. And we know that she also ended up kissing Omar. Remember, I said that. Now, let's move on to Harriet. Harriet kissed Ronnie and his hairline. Oh, Sarah, I shouldn't have said that. But yeah, Harriet kissed Ronnie as someone that was, I think, the sexiest islander. Harriet and Ronnie are hungry, okay? When I say hungry, they are starving in that villa. I don't even know if they eat. We're going to get into them shortly anyway, because you know what happens. But Jess was not happy, and we know that as well because she speaks to the girls about it after. Now, moving on to Joey and Sam. So he used his balloon to pop. No, he used his balloon to pop it with Sam, and he was asked to snog the girl that he would want to share a bed with. He ended up kissing Jess. Samantha was pissed, like capital P, pissed. I feel like for me, and I said this in yesterday's review as well, if you guys were in the live, that I feel like Samantha, she's scary. Okay, that essence Samantha stands for scary. I feel like Samantha is quite scary because right now it's given fan love, like fan love. It's given fan love for Joey Essex, and anyone looks his way, anyone blinks his direction, anyone coughs in his face, she's just irritated. But we're going to get into that shortly anyway. But sis was screwing. Now let's move on to Mimii talking to Patsy, and Mimii was essentially saying that she's 100% done with the situation with Ayo, like that's how he's gonna act, like, I'm not here for it. She was pretty much saying that she's completely done with the whole situation, that this isn't her, she's not into triangle, she's not into any of this. We'll get onto Mimii later because, guys, you guys know I love Mimii on this channel, but sis is not, she's not playing the game. She's not playing the game. It's too early to put all your eggs in one basket. That ending actually confused me, but let's get into it. Now, moving on to Umar and Ayo having a conversation. So she says that she doesn't want Mimii to look like a mug, and she also confirmed that Ayo laughed after her and Umar had a kiss. And after him and Umar, her and Umar, yeah, no, after him and her had a kiss. Okay, now that also confirms what we were all thinking yesterday, because we all thought that the laughing edit was because of another situation, and we we're just like, oh no, the producers definitely done that because they wanted to just stir the pot. Whoa! But Uma confirmed to us today that no, that was actually that. So very interesting from Ayo. But he did say, you know, like, anything I can say to you, I can say to her as well. Like, it's calm. Like, I'm not saying I'm closed off. I'm just saying this, and I'm just doing this, and I'm just moving this type of way. I feel like it is nice that Umar obviously doesn't want Mimii to look like a mug, 100%. But I feel like if Ayo's not careful, he's definitely going to lose the both of them. Even though I keep backtracking to this ending, because now I just don't even know where Mimi's head is at. I actually just don't know. And one of you said it in yesterday's live that you want the spirit of Tanya to locate her. Okay? You want the spirit of Tanya to relocate her. Now, let's move on to Ayo now pulling Mimii for a chat. And he pretty much said, like, you know, one thing I did love during this conversation was Mimii actually stood on business. So he was like, you know, I don't want to give you a headache, like, you know, and she was just like, I don't have a headache right now, you know what, I just don't even want to talk right now. And he was like, oh, you don't want to talk? No, I'm just not really, I'm trying to process my feelings and I just don't want to speak. So I'm happy that in that situation she wasn't forced to speak to him when he wanted to speak to her, because she was still processing the situation. You know, you decided to choose another girl to kiss in the challenge. They even pick her to pop a balloon at all. So definitely processing her emotions and how she's feeling. And I'm very glad that she decided not to have that conversation then. But we know things change. Now let's move on to Joey now talking to Harriet. Listen, Joey is messy. And you guys know when Joey first joined this season, I literally did say, like, why did they bring Joey? No, guys, let us give him a raise, okay? His agent is working overtime, and that agent deserves a raise, because Joey is giving us mess and Joey is giving us drama. So of course Joey was pretty much telling Harriet, like, you know what, you like Ronnie, like, you need to do your own thing, like, don't pull him from chat, babe, you need to put yourself first, you got to put yourself first. So Harriet and Ronnie now end up going for a chat, and Ronnie says, all right, cool, let's go into the hideaway. Side note, I did already say this in the first couple reviews that we were doing, that I'm not really happy how, I'll say, easily accessible the hideaway is. Like, the hideaway used to be a treat for the couples. Now it's just giving I don't even know. It's just giving freedom. I can't explain it, but I feel like they've low-key cheapened. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. They've low-key cheapened the hideaway effect, if that makes sense. Like, there's nothing about it anymore, because you can just walk in and you can just walk out. But of course they end up going to the hideaway, and Jess saw them and she was just like, what, is he going to the hideaway? Let me tell you, if he kisses her, I'm done. I'm completely done, because that's just muggy, that's just disrespectful. Lo and behold, Harriet and Ronnie are in the hideaway, and guys, Harriet and Ronnie were starving. When I say starved, they were starving for a kid. What? They kissed like a total of like 3-4 times. She was just like, you know, ever since she came into this villa, I've always had my eyes on you. And Ronnie was just like, oh, really? Like, you really? And I don't know what's going on with Ronnie's hairline. I don't know what it is, but on Twitter they're calling it yaki texture, and it's making my head. It's literally making me scream. But they were just getting at it. They were kissing, they were smooching, they were absolutely hungry. Now they ended up leaving the hideaway, and the second they left the hideaway, it was crickets first of all, because everyone in the video was like, oh my gosh, like, what is it? The second they left the hideaway, Jess literally said, Ronnie, come here, like, I got a bone to pick with you, babes. She just said, come here. Even before they sat down, she just said, did you kiss her? Yeah, you're muggy, you're this, you're cheap. That's what you're saying. You're cheap and she's cheap. You're cheap and she's do you know how rude it is for you to call someone cheap? I'll be honest with you, Ronnie seemed so nonchalant throughout the entire situation and conversation. And I already said this in one of my other reviews, that I didn't even feel like Ronnie likes Jess like that anyway. I feel like he was just managing her because there wasn't really anyone else in the villa that was giving them his time, and vice versa. And I feel like he just had to settle. Don't get me wrong, they have good chat, but Ronnie looks like when he's talking to Jess, he doesn't even really want to be there. So it was very interesting, and even more telling at the fact that she's there saying, you done this and you're cheap. You told me you want to get to know me. And I said, even if you want to get to know other people, you should be telling me, how muggy do you think it looks that you're kissing her? And I think you did it. And Ronnie's just like, yeah, like, obviously I like you and I like her. I'm trying to get to know the girl. I'm trying to get to know her. I'm trying to get to know you. I'm trying to do just talking. He doesn't really care, because at the end of the day, his actions aren't matching up with the words, and not saying that I already knew that Ronnie didn't act just like that, and I still don't think he does. I think he just said what he said to try and be polite. But at the end of the day, I wish Jess had read the room a lot more to not allow the situation to have affected her the way it did. Because if she read the room when she was having conversations with Ronnie, she probably would have seen that he doesn't like her like that. Now, of course, Jess now ended up speaking to the girls in the villa, and she was pissed. Like, Jess was like, no, that's proper this. Like, at the end of the day, he's telling me this and he's doing this. Now, Harriet, and I won't lie, guys, Harriet is a very interesting character, but she's bringing small drama, so I can't hate her too bad. But Harriet was just like, babe, and just like I don't want to hear it. And the thing that was annoying me as well was Harriet was just lying. Like, if you're gonna be a bad bee, own up to being a bad bee. Like, literally, just own up to it. Harriet was just like, no, babe, like, honestly, I didn't even know that was gonna happen. Ah! You didn't know that was gonna happen. That is scary. That is very scary for you to say that, Harriet. Ooh, I'm scared, honestly. What do you mean? What do you actually mean? Oh, babe, like, honestly, I didn't even know that was going to happen. And one thing I do like about Jess, and I feel like I see this character in Patsy as well, is they are very confident women, and they are also very confident when they have their arguments. Like, Jess was like, listen, Harriet, don't want to hear it. It's really not about you. It's about the situation that I have with Ronnie. And Harriet was still trying to get in there like, no, but babe, she said, babe, I told you once, I'm not going to tell you twice. It's not about you. It's about me and Ronnie. So, you know what? You can have him, because I don't want a boy. I want a man. That definitely rubbed Harriet off the wrong way. But Harriet was definitely lying. This whole, I didn't know. Oh my gosh, like, I didn't even know it was going to get like that. You both were literally egging on the kiss for both of you. So that was very interesting. I do feel like movie night is going to be quite interesting, because how are we only just starting week 2 and there is footage for days, okay, with this cast? But yeah, like I said, I do love the fact that Jess stands on B for business. Let's move on to the following morning. So Umar and Mimii were having a conversation, and she was saying that Umar was telling Mimii that, you know, Ayo is more into her, and she finds it kind of shady. Like, he's pretty much told her that he's more for her, and she finds it really shady with the way he's going about the situation. And Mimii pretty much said that she isn't there for the love triangle. So once again, just reinforcing what I already said, in terms of, I low-key feel like Umar may end up getting the ick if Ayo doesn't control the situation well. But at the same time, I don't even feel like Umar is really for Ayo anyway. I feel like she's definitely, if not even going to sway sides, she is possibly going to go for someone else in the villa. Now let's move on to Mimii now speaking to Samantha. She did shed a little tear, because you guys know Mimii did already say in episode 1 that she hates it when, you know, people kind of draw attention to her situations like this and it's not really her vibe. So she was shedding a little tear here and there. But she said once again that, you know, she's just going to put all her focus on Omar. So saying that and then the ending, I don't really know, but let's get into it. So now moving on to Harriet and Jess having a conversation. She just pretty much wanted to clear the air. That was very interesting, because Jess was just like, you know what, at the end of the day, I don't want you feeling secluded in the villa. Like, and then Harriet was just like, okay, like, yeah. And then in the confessionals, Harriet was like, I feel like what Jess was saying was patronizing, because I do have friends in the villa. I don't know who's her friend apart from Jerry, because it's not giving friendship vibes with any of the other girls. But Harriet actually does not care. That's one thing I have to say. I actually don't think Harriet cares to be messy. She doesn't care. She's going to kiss who she kisses, and she's going to like who she likes. And if you don't like it, then that's your own. Now let's move on to Jess now talking to Ronnie briefly. She pretty much said, if you kiss her again without telling me, it's curtains. I won't be surprised if Ronnie is still going to kiss Harriet again and they're just going to keep it a little secret. But once again, like I did say, I don't feel like Ronnie's into Jess as much as she wants him to be, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. Now, briefly moving on to I guess Joey and Samantha briefly. Not really much to discuss other than the fact that Samantha was just like, you know, you're Joey Essex and a lot of people are going to like you in the villa if they come in and everything. And then they randomly started speaking about their families. But I'll get into that shortly, because there's another conversation that they have at night time that I really want to delve into. Now let's move on to Omar and Patsy. So Patsy asked, you know, how are things with Mimii and everything? And Omar was like, yeah, like, things are cool, like, I really like her. And then Patsy was like, oh yeah, you guys have really good chat. Not me jealous. When she said, initially, I actually just thought Patsy was there to just try and figure out, oh, like, how are you and Mimii doing? Like, how are you finding your time in the villa? I didn't know she wanted a conversation with Omar because she wanted to get into Omar's books. I was shocked. Okay, I was mortified. Okay, if you know that Nene reference, you know the Nene reference. But no, guys, I was actually genuinely shocked, because I was just thinking, Patsy, You little cheeky one. I was thinking, wait, Patsy? I think I even tweeted Patsy rest. Not knowing Omar was also saying, oh yeah, like Patsy's confident. Like, yeah, she got a good chat. I said, oh, you know, these Love Island cast members, everyone is actually so unpredictable. You just don't know, okay? You just don't know. You think you know someone, but you really don't. Let's move on now to Mimii now speaking to Nicole and Samantha about not holding back from Ayo. I'm just going to be very honest with you. The feedback, let me tell you, how can I say this? Let me just say this bluntly. Mimii should not listen to any of these girls for advice. I am so sorry. I don't want to hear it, okay? That advice was pants. Like, at the end of the day, she feels how she feels, and I get it. Mimii still likes Ayo. I'm not expecting her to completely erase her feelings, and she isn't going to. But Nicole, like, oh, like, you don't write it off. You know, you guys had that spark from day one. Like, honestly, don't give up on Ayo. Don't give up. Don't give up. I was just thinking, this babe, you blatantly see this girl has felt so humiliated, so everything and above because of the way this guy has treated her, and your advice is, you know, just continue to go. Like, Mimii is not the one that should be doing the grafting for Ayo. That's point blank period, okay? Mimii is not the one to be doing the grafting for Ayo. Ayo's the one that needs to be doing the grafting for her. So yeah, she shouldn't close herself off from the guy if she still likes him, but you really getting it on in her head, like, yeah, like, you should still, like, oh my God, honestly, he likes you. Did Ayo tell you that? Did Ayo, no, Nicole, because you're talking like Ayo sat you down and spoke to you. Did Ayo tell you that? So once again, I don't want Mimii to graft for Ayo. I think Ayo's the one that needs to be doing the grafting. Now, let's move on to the nighttime. Moving on to Nicole and Samantha having a conversation. She says she doesn't know if she's really getting a vibe from Joey, and at the same time, Joey was also speaking to Harriet around something quite similar in regards to the vibe that he's getting from Samantha. Now, Harriet was like, do you want me to be honest with you, Joey? Like, at the end of the day, I feel like it's more of like a touchy thing. Like, you just need to be touchy with her. You just got to be touchy, and you know, she likes things like that, and da 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 da. So Nicole was also saying the same thing to Samantha as well. Now, they ended up having a conversation about it, and one thing I love about Joey Essex, you know what, let me just should I start calling him Joey or Jojo? I don't know. But he made it very clear to her, like, at the end of it, because he was just like, you know, at the end of the day, you know, I am Joey, like, I am who I am. She was just like, yeah, but you're Joey Essex, like, I've got to deal with any girl, like, I know for a fact any girl's gonna see you and they're just gonna want to know that's Joey Essex, for sure. And he was like, it's low-key an ick, okay? You keep bringing up the fact that I'm Joey Essex, which I already know, okay? I know I'm Joey Essex, but I'm Joey in this villa. Like, take the Essex out of it when you really think about it. His name is actually Joey. Essex isn't his surname. So even when he was obviously opening up to her about that, she was like, oh, is that how you feel like I am with you? And he was just like, well, yeah. Okay. That is low-key how I feel. And I think that's the problem as well, which is what I said in yesterday's live review. Samantha is given big fan right now, and Joey doesn't want to date a fan. He just wants to date someone who just likes him. So I don't see Joey and Samantha, I don't know how I feel about them in the long run. I don't see it lasting, if I'll be honest with you. I think either another girl's gonna come into the villa, or maybe she might want to still stick with him because, like I said, she's a fan, so she probably does want to date Joey Essex, you know. But I do feel like another girl would come into the villa, or maybe Joey's gonna start exploring his options with other people in the villa as well. He did give her a little kiss, but it was just giving like a little friendship, like, oh yeah, kiss on lip, yeah, and then moving to the side. But yeah, honestly, he's just trying to be Joey, and you keep bringing up, oh, you said that 11 years ago on your show. Why do I want to speak to someone who remembers something that I said 11 years ago on my show? It's too much. Now, let's move on to Omar and Patsy now having another conversation. He did say he likes confident girls, and she was like, you've got good eye chemistry, etc., etc. He did say in his confessionals that he does actually want to get to know her as well. So, like I said, it's early days. Everyone is allowed to explore their options, but generally speaking, Omar and Patsy wasn't a couple that I saw happening. Now let's move on to Ayo and Mimii having a conversation. When Ayo was talking here, I just wanted to kind of hold his lips a bit, because he was just like, I just want to make it clear that I've never been unclear. I just want to make it clear that I've never been unclear. I beg to differ. And Mimii also begged to differ as well. She was just like, okay, because what do you mean you've never been unclear? But he said that, you know, as he still really enjoys her and her company as well. And Mimii also made it very clear to him that, you know, she still really likes him, and sometimes she just wants to cuddle him. And he was like, come cuddle me then. And this is what I mean by I need Mimii to play the game, because I was not supposed to know too soon that you like him again like that. Do you guys get where I'm coming from? Or am I overthinking this? I don't feel like I am overthinking this, because now I was probably thinking, oh yeah, like, oh yeah, she just wants to see me, she wants to cuddle me. But no, you disrespected the babe. Like, you weren't honest, you were very unclear. Okay, because two different conversations are going on with the girls that you like. You're putting more energy into one than another. One feels secluded, one feels included. Like, there's a lot that's going on. So I just want Mimii to play the game well, which is why, once again, the ending really surprised me. Now, before we get into the ending, let's quickly talk about Jess and Sean. Sean is really cute, like I said, and we kind of forget he's in the villa because he's just, you know, he's just there, but he actually seems like such a sweetheart. But he was speaking to Jess and he was just like, you know, I just feel like you're not being treated the way you should be treated, and, you know, let's just get married. And you can tell Sean is really nice. That's the honest truth. So I do hope he does find someone in the villa. Do I think it's going to be Jess? I'm not too sure. But of course, if Ronnie does continue to do what he's doing with Harriet, then I do think Jess is definitely going to be more open to exploring things with Sean. Now, of course, you know, they end up getting a text for everyone to gather around the fire pit. And Love Island producer said, plot twist. Okay? They really said plot twist, because even me, I didn't see that coming. Although I had an outcome in mind, the plot twisted even more at the end with Omar and Mimii. So we know that Mimii and Omar were told that because they are now single, that they have to make a very important decision to either couple up with each other or still an islander of their choice. So they now go off to have a mini conversation. And in all honesty, I was very surprised to see that they were even having a conversation. I just thought, yeah, you guys are just going to couple up. Like, what is it? You like her? You like him? Why are we having a long conversation? So they were not having a conversation, and Mimii was just like, you know, what do you want to do? And he's just like, what do you want to do? And then she pretty much said, you know, at the end of the day, if I was to still, like, yeah, it would be Ayo. Like, we had a conversation earlier today and he still likes me, and, you know, I still like him. And even Omar said, okay, well, that changes a lot of things, right? Omar now said if he was going to steal someone, the only other people that he's interested in or he would want to get to know is Umar or Patsy. As Mimii kept talking, I was just thinking, oh, I think Omar was actually taken back by what Mimii was saying. I feel like Omar was just like, well, okay, that's a bit awkward. So I guess I need to now go for my plan Bs, which are Umar or Patsy. But anyway, long story short, they came back to the fire pit and they told the islanders, oh, also, whilst this was going on, Uma kept saying, I'm effed. Like, oh, she was kept whispering. She was like, I'm effed. Oh, I'm done. I'm effed. I'm this, I'm that. Which was quite interesting as well. But anyway, long story short, they came back to the fire pit and they decided that they were going to steal. So I know for a fact Mimii is going to steal Ayo from Umar. And I think Omar is gonna, is he gonna go for Umar or is he gonna go for Patsy? I don't know. I don't know, actually. The only conversation I saw him have with Umar was the one he had yesterday. I don't know if they had a chin wag today. And he's been speaking to Patsy quite a bit. So let's see how it goes. But maybe Umar is saying I'm effed because obviously if Mimii chooses Ayo and Omar decides to choose Patsy, then she's going to be single, and I don't think they will dump her from the villa just yet. But you know, these producers, they can actually just do anything. But honestly speaking, I don't know what that ending was. I just want her to play the game, and I just feel like, I hope by her deciding that she wants to steal Ayo, Omar hasn't now completely ruled it out in his mind, well, she doesn't want to get to know me. So, because like, they could have just coupled up and then continued to pursue things with wanting to get to know other people again. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I actually don't know. But yeah, guys, let me know how you found today's episode. Overall, I feel like it was quite a decent episode. I feel like the drama this season is giving us... Sorry, I didn't fart, by the way. That was my phone. But yeah, I feel like the drama this season is definitely giving old school drama, which is really good. So it'll be very interesting to see who Omar picks, because Mimi's definitely going to pick Ayo. I just want to know who Omar's going to pick as well. But yeah, guys, let me know how you found today's episode. As always, if you haven't yet subscribed, be sure to subscribe and definitely join the family. Also, be sure to follow me on my Instagram and also on my Twitter at SarahDestinyX. And number 3, as I usually and always say, please do take care, stay blessed, and I shall see you tomorrow. Bye.